Welcome to LFC Transfer Room for post-match reaction. And just like the Reds, we've left it a little bit late before we've gone live than we planned. But Anthony was making a fire thumbnail. Rigo, you've got to be happy. You've got to be in good form. You've got to be in good spirits. Another win. Different to the last one, but another win.
Definitely ecstatic. Another win. We escaped the frying pan just at the last second there. Thank God the ref was honorable during this match at the end, with all the time wasting. Not only in the first half, but especially in the second half. He made sure to count those seconds towards the end. And just by the hair of our chinny chin chin, CARVALHO saved us there. You know, just like he has his little whiskers there. He saved us with those, saved by teenagers appears to be the theme.
And Louis, after watch long, you're with us again. Owen, how are you feeling? And also, how annoyed were you with Newcastle? Because I felt new levels of rage during that game.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad I'm not the only one who was going on about the time wasting the entire time, because I've noticed it happened in the past few weeks. Obviously, Bournemouth doesn't really come into that one, but the other games as well, it's been happening. It's really frustrating. Like, the referees just haven't been added it on, and even in stoppage time they give 5-6 minutes, but then the team have been time wasting for that, and then they blow out on the 96th. It's like, where's the logic? And I'm glad today Andrew Marin has seen through it, or at least he's added on a bit of extra time, and yeah, in the end it's absolutely saved us. But if I'm being totally honest, I'd like to get your thoughts on it. But I didn't think we played particularly well tonight. I don't think we played great. I still think in the final third, it just felt there's something lacking. Possession-wise, yeah, we were right. I wouldn't say anything apart from that. But yeah, we didn't create a huge amount of chances anywhere near the amount. And I got a frustration because it was kind of like, well, we scored 9 against Bournemouth. And it was like, well, we've gone back to what we were doing before. And we hadn't really pushed on. But yeah, I'd like to get your thoughts on that as well.
Yeah, well, Anthony, we're going to start with your favourite player. The man, the myth, the legend, the captain. It wasn't the greatest performance for him, but he is playing out of position. Can we give him any leeway, or is it just another demonstration that changes are needed?
I don't want to go too in on him. I thought, although he sort of made a mistake for the goal, he did sort of redeem himself. I think there were a couple of good passes from him in the second half. And to be fair, the whole team changed in the second half. It looked like, I don't know, I felt more belief for the first time in a while, watching us in the second half trying to come back. Like against Palace, it just felt a bit flat, like we weren't going to make the comeback. And same against Fulham. Although we did make the comebacks, but we never got over the line and got 3 points. Whereas today, it just felt like there was something extra with the players. And even in the atmosphere, they were actually chanting for once. And yeah, I'm glad we got the win. And Carvalho, I couldn't be more happier for him. I think he should start the next match against Everton, is it? Or to be fair, it's a tough match, obviously a derby, but he's got to start. And it's good to know Nunes is back as well.
Yeah, and I think Owen makes a good point, Rigo, which is I don't think we played particularly well. I think we played well in stages, and I think we accelerated the game in stages, but it seemed like we occasionally got stuck on ideas. And it took players like Carvalho and Elliott, 2 of the youngest players on the pitch, to give us that injection that we needed. What do you think?
Definitely. We had 72% of the possession, but we didn't get our first shot on goal until the 60th minute. And that's just absolutely baffling to me. With that much possession, we should be creating dangerous chances. And it was nothing like the Bournemouth game at all. From the initial get-go, you saw Newcastle were looking to waste as much time as possible on the throw-ins and anything back towards the goalkeeper. So they came in with a plan in mind, knowing how to frustrate us and not letting us get into our play, and as well as also sitting back and absorbing all that pressure that our possession brings to them. But I think the lack of threat in the midfield kind of plays into us not having enough space to capitalize on that possession. And once you saw those substitutes come in, Carvalho namely, you saw what danger somebody who can carry the ball, dribble, and actually pass with both feet can do with combination with Diaz as well as Tsimikas, difference makers that that they made when they did come on, which I felt was a little bit too late as well. It was close. It was in the 71st minute, so it could have been a little bit sooner as far as that injection. But yeah, definitely could improve as far as capitalizing on the possession that we do have.
I'm going to ask the stream to think about this. Please think about it in chat. And Owen, I'm going to ask you. In fact, I'm going to ask all you guys to think about it, which is, who is your player of the match, and who is your unsung player of the match? Who is the player that you think did better than? They're not going to get man of the match or anything like that. But who actually impressed you when you looked at them? But Owen, before we go on to that, I want to ask you about a Newcastle player, a player, Isaac, who played for them. I think he ran a brilliant game. Like, he ran himself into the ground for that team. I think he played the sort of game you would want to see at Anfield. What did you think of Isaac's debut?
Oh, yeah, unreal. Like, in the attacking thirds, I think for the disallowed goal as well, he absolutely had Andy Robertson and Joe Gomez there. He sat them both down. And then for the goal itself, yeah, fantastic positioning, getting in that position, and then firing it past Alisson, who, in that 1v1 position, it's not easy whatsoever. So, yeah, absolutely fantastic debut for him. And going forwards, they've already got great options in Callum Wilson, and St. Maximin as well up front. I know today they were missing a few of them, even Bruno Guimaraes in the midfield. So, yeah, they definitely weren't at their best today whatsoever. But, yeah, it's a fantastic debut for him. And going forward now, 60 minutes only, though. And if he played 90, then it would have been a very hard game for us, to put it like that. But, yeah, luckily for us, first game, only got the hour and then brought off. And we then had Chris Wood, and we could deal with him a little bit better, fortunately.
We almost pressed into their half, quite deep into their half when Chris Wood came on, because the threat of the press and the counter-attack was a lot less. Anthony, we're relying a lot on two kids here, Carvalho and Elliott. I guess if you're good enough, you're old enough, but Liverpool are a top 1% in world football type of team. Can we really rely on these two wonder kids to drag us through?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's working to an extent so far. Obviously, we've picked up a few points with them coming on the pitch, and the game's completely changed whenever they come on. Especially today, I thought Carvalho was insane, and even against Man United, where we did lose, but as soon as Carvalho came on, you saw sort of more direct, like we're actually getting into the attacking third, and his shot on target is what helped Salah score. So it's definitely not successful in the long term, or like we can't keep relying on Carvalho and Elliott, but we do have Thiago coming back, we've got Kate coming back, so I don't think we'll struggle so much in the short term. But we obviously it's out there. We do need a midfielder already, and these sort of wins shouldn't sort of cover that. But I thought Carvalho and Elliott looked really good so far, and that's throughout the season. I thought Carvalho in particular, I think he's probably better than Elliott, not going to lie. I do like Elliott, but I think we're sort of slightly overrating him. Just the end product, and his decision making at times, I'm just like, he should pass it quicker. But I can't.
That's a team decision making, isn't it, for a midfielder? Surely he's going to make mistakes, isn't he, at that age?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's expected for these youngsters. So it can't be too harsh on them. If they make mistakes at this age, it doesn't really matter. But it's not costing us goals, and they're the sort of only bright sparks we can look at this season.
No, we're going to make this a Liverpool signing a midfielder free session. We're not going to talk about it. Absolute bonkers from the LFC transfer room. We're not going to talk about not us signing a midfielder. But Rigo, your player of the match and your underrated player of the match, a player that impressed you. It doesn't have to have a great performance. Just someone who you thought actually they had a good game.
Well, definitely, if you're taking a look at the comments section here, Harvey Elliott is getting the majority of the shouts for man of the match. Yeah, I'd say it's a toss-up between him as well as Mo Salah. We can't discount the effect Mo Salah has on the team, as well as having 2 assists. For those of you doing FPL, you'll take those very gladly. So, and so will we. We needed those today. So it's a toss-up between those two, and if I had to choose a third, then I'd obviously go with Luis Diaz. Although he started the match and didn't get a goal, he was always running, gaining back possession, tracking back as well as being so dangerous coming with the ball. At one stretch towards the end there, he ran all the way from the left side all the way to the other side of the field carrying the ball and still earned a foul. So we can't discount the amount of effort and impressive play that he's done so far this season. As far as player of the season so far, it has to be between him and Harvey Elliott, in my opinion, so far.
I'm liking how he started to come back into the centre, Luis Diaz. He's starting to attack the middle of the pitch, even running all the way around to Salah's, just thinking, well, I'm in control of this game. It's actually really good to see. Owen, for you, player of the match and player that impressed you the most of the match?
Oh, it has to be Harvey Elliott. What a player he's turning out to be. It's so just good to see. Like, I absolutely love that guy. And he's now taking it to his own, really, isn't he? He's like now going to the middle of the park. He's controlling the game. He's getting on the ball. And when you look, apart from the sort of wingers, who on our team wants to get on that ball and take a man on, to take, like, dribble with the ball.
Against Joe Linton as well, all match is against this massive powerhouse, and he put him on his arse about 10 times.
Oh, it was absolutely beautiful to see. And just, he's 19 years old, and to have that confidence, it's only a positive at this stage. And yeah, he gets better with every game. So I'm absolutely really excited for Harvey Elliott. And now he's making himself pretty much the first name on the team sheet nowadays, especially for the midfield. Like, that right centre midfield spot is his firmly, and no one's taking it off him at the minute. So yeah, really happy to see that. Unsung, I'd probably go with Van Dijk, because I know he's had a lot of criticism in the past over the last few weeks. But today, he didn't put the foot wrong, really, did he? And yeah, you saw that sort of dominant strength from Van Dijk back. You saw that again. Obviously, like, we had a few difficulties in the first half, but yeah, once they were sorted out, Van Dijk, he looked like his colossal self. He looked like that big figure in the defense, and yeah, every single time his passing as well was unbelievable. Those diagonal balls across. So yeah, Van Dijk was very good today once again.
And you're going to make it a hat trick, Elliott, player of the match, Anthony?
I was going to say Firmino. I thought Rigo went with Salah as well, but never mind. I thought Firmino played well. Elliott played well as well. Like anyone, I think there are 2 or 3 players who could sort of contend for man of the match. Sorry, my voice is a bit.
It's all right, it's 10:30. It's 10:30. Not for you, Rigo, but it is for us.
But yeah, I thought he obviously got the goal, and his link-up play was good, and he obviously set up Diaz in the first half, who should have scored or gave it to Salah to score when he missed that open goal, but doesn't matter, we won the match. And for unsung hero, I'll probably say Owen's partners. I'll go with Gomez. I thought defensively he was on point for everything. I don't think you could really monitor the defense for the goal. It's more either Henderson or Fabinho for making the mistake. But yeah, all rounder, I thought he had a solid performance, and he almost got his goal. Well, I wouldn't say almost. He could have got a goal towards the end.
Going up.
Navigator-esque. But yeah,
what was that about? Actually, the last kick of the game, and he does that. That could have been it. Could have been it.
I got to talk to my cousin, guys. Sorry.
No, I thought he had a solid performance. I'll go with it, to be fair. Like, he's been getting a lot of criticism on the back of that Man United match, and he just needs minutes, and he'll be performing to the top level again.
He's definitely getting better every game that he plays. Like, you can see there's a step to improve. It's match sharpness, isn't it? You got to play 6-7 games, to really sort of get it.
Question for you.
Go on, Rigo.
Should we keep Gomez and Van Dijk as a tandem going on? Because as a back line, you kind of appreciate that stability. And at this point, would you chance with Matip coming on?
It's a good question for chat as well. Would you bring Matip in, or would you keep Gomez there? I think for me, I'd probably keep Joe Gomez. I like the pace Joe Gomez has got, and I like the pace that Van Dijk's got, and I think it helps keep us a little bit more solid. But I do think it depends on the opposition. Like, I think in Newcastle, Gomez is fine because he's quicker. I think certain opposition, you want Matip's guile. Is that the right? Yeah, if you know what I mean. Owen, you gave it a funny look. I think you Matip, get Matip straight back in.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't rush him back for the Everton game, but yeah, I think Matip is comfortably better than Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez, he's still a decent squad player to have, and as fourth choice centre half, don't get me wrong, absolutely unreal. But yeah, I think unfortunately, Joel Matip nowadays, and Ibrahim Konate as well, just a comfortably better centre halves. But yeah, I think I wouldn't rush Matip back if he's not 100% fit for the Everton game. I still think Gomez, he's putting together a bit of a run now, so it'll be a bit of a shame to end it. But at the same time, I think when the time's right, yeah, you do bring Matip back into the team.
But look at all the Premier League clubs signing all these centre-backs, finding out that the centre-backs are actually not as good as what they've signed. And we're sitting here on 4 priced assets. It's not exactly a bad situation to be in. I think from a centre-back perspective, that is probably where we've got the best world-class depth, in my opinion. But going back to the game, first half didn't really go to plan. We kind of got hit. It kind of was just one of those unexpected things where we were playing on top of the game, and then classic Liverpool this season, they take advantage of an opportunity and score. What do you want to see in the first sort of 20 minutes of games, Anthony? How do you want us to start to approach this? Because we seem to be making similar mistakes.
It feels like it's the players are too impatient. They like want a quick goal and just to get that advantage ahead of the opposition. But they just need to pass the ball and control the first half, man. Like I was watching the City match before the Liverpool one came on, and my God, the difference between our midfield and them just keeping possession in general is just it's clear the levels above us at the moment, and we're struggling for it. I thought the first half, I'm surprised, when we come out of matches and we got like 70% possession. I'm thinking like, where's this all come from? It seems like such end-to-end matches. I think the first half for Newcastle, to be fair, is a very stop and start because they all kept going down for injuries and wasting time, especially Nick Pope. But there's someone in the chat as well. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Umuamua. The goal got to 7 minutes because they kept wasting time for like 5 minutes. An extra time in it, like. But we haven't. Oh God, we got another injury. I just read, but
Henderson, you'll be happy.
I'm not happy he's injured, but yeah, I think we got to start controlling matches, and Henderson, he's not good enough to start. And even I was thinking, I said at the beginning of the season I wouldn't mind him as a rotation option, but even now I just don't think he's got that quality to sort of rotate, come in once every 2 matches. I think we're past him now, and look at Carvalho when he came onto the pitch. He's actually making passes, going forward. That's what we need to keep doing, and we're spending too much time either passing back, passing sideways, or trying that one long pass, and it doesn't work out, and we lose possession. So someone who could actually just pass the ball basically, and it will help, I think, in the first half because we're just rushing into matches.
Now Everton's around the corner, Rigo. Núñez is now available. Jota's on the road back. But Firmino, after playing 3 games in a row, seems to be getting in his Firmino groove and creating space for everyone all of a sudden. So you've got one number 9 for the Everton game. Who are you picking?
I think we're choosing both, actually. And someone posted there in the comments that we kind of highlighted, we have another issue with Henderson possibly being hurt as well. So either we can drop Firmino down possibly into a midfield role. He's there half the match anyway. You saw him almost in the 6th role at certain occasions during today's match, unfortunately. So perhaps we can roll with Firmino and Núñez to kind of lead us up the middle. But if not, as we've seen before, Núñez can definitely make an impact off the bench. Perhaps that might be a way of easing him back in, and especially considering the opponent that we're facing, Everton. They're going to do a ton of S-housery. If we saw it from Newcastle today, you can expect it even more in spades with Everton, with T-Rex arms over there and the rest of his crew. So perhaps it might not be the best match to throw him right in, but I'm not opposed to starting Bobby in a midfield role.
So that would mean then not starting Harvey Elliott?
No, that would mean starting Harvey as well as Bobby and hoping Fabinho can cover any.
So Bobby left central midfield, Harvey right central midfield.
Correct.
It's attacking. What do you think, Owen? I mean,
at this point, Bobby doesn't the same amount of work that Henderson does, and gets around even quicker than him. So I don't think we'll see a drop there.
Firmino has the highest tackle stats of any attacker in world football. I think it's like top 1%. I think he makes 6 tackles a game, and that is at the hardest end of the pitch to make tackles. So maybe he would be able to do this, Owen.
I was thinking about it just now, actually playing Firmino in midfield. And yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to it at all. I think nowadays his game is more suited to that position. I just think the problem is that Klopp, he's not going to want to play Firmino alongside Harvey Elliott. I just can't see him doing that. He doesn't want to play Fabio Carvalho, who can't even play in midfield alongside Harvey Elliott. I can't see him doing that either. I always feel like he wants to have Fabinho, that holding midfielder, have that more attacking player in Harvey Elliott, and then have maybe a sort of in between, maybe like John Henderson, James Milner, Naby Keita, that sort of player there. Well, Naby Keita doesn't even get games nowadays, but you know, I mean, that sort of player on the left hand side. So yeah, look, I think we haven't really got much to lose, in fairness, and with Henderson injured, it'd be really interesting to see what he does go with. But yeah, what do you see? What do you think? And in the comments as well, I'm really interested to know that one, because there is no real clear answer, in my opinion.
This is the problem that I've got with it. Is I want to see Carvalho start. I want to see Harvey Elliott start. Well, Harvey Elliott has to start. That's number one. Bobby can't be dropped at the moment because he's creating too much space and linking everything together and bringing Salah and Diaz in the game. You can't drop Salah. He's got, 2 assists and 2 goals in 4 games. You know, the guy's just quietly going on about his work with little effort. So what do? Núñez off the bench, probably Carvalho off the bench, and then try and make a big impact. But if you get into the stage where Everton are doing the diving on the floor, acting like they've been shot, they can't really impact the game, can they? Because it's just so bitty. Anthony, solve it for me. What do we do?
I think I'm going to go against what everyone's basically said. I don't think Firmino should start. I think Núñez should. I don't think Firmino has ever scored against Everton, to be honest. And whenever he has played in the matches, it's always like tight matches. It's always 1-0s, 2-1s, or whatever you want to, whatever scorelines they are. But when you've got a striker of that quality on your hands, you've got to start him. I think against Palace, he's getting in the right positions, and obviously his finishing weren't quite there. And we saw the impact he made against Fulham, so I think he's got to start. But like everyone's pointing about Firmino, you know, he actually started central midfield for us, didn't he? When we actually signed him, I think Brendan Rodgers had him there, and he's initially a midfielder anyway from Hoffenheim. So
he was a 10, wasn't he?
Yeah,
He was
he's a midfielder. So Klopp just put him in that 9th spot, and he couldn't stop scoring, could he? During his first season, but I wouldn't be opposed to Firmino playing midfield, but I think you've got better options in there at the moment with Carvalho and with Firmino as well. It's like it's okay for him to go on in these sort of good bit of form, but he'll drop off, and he sort of drops off like straight away. So I reckon shove Núñez up top, and he's been waiting for a while now, and I'm sure he'll be ready for Merseyside derby.
Coiled spring. He's probably our fittest player. He'll have just been training and lifting weights in the gym, tightening his top knot. No offense, Rigo. So Charlie's saying it in the comments. 120 people we've got live, only 27 likes. If you can please like the video, follow LFC Transfer. We make videos like this all the time. Get involved in the conversation. Liverpool are now back in the Premier League hunt. For me, that's what it says to me. Now we're starting to do that. Rigo, are you starting to see the ball moving, the Liverpool machine starting to get going?
I think not just yet. Up until we're down a score, and then you see kind of that sense of urgency that we need to actually put the ball in the net instead of playing around with our food like a cat would. So I think we definitely need that more of that killer touch. We came out gangbusters against Bournemouth, but today I felt we were trying to be a little bit too technical with what we were doing instead of just looking to get shots on goal. And as I mentioned before, we had our first shot on goal in the 60th minute. So we definitely need to change that around. Perhaps we could talk to the scoreboard operator and automatically put one zip up on there, and then perhaps we can start off doing well from the initial whistle. So the other thing that that I also highlighted on the chat there. I know we've been talking about midfield and perhaps who should start, but the other question that has come about in conversation is our left back. Should Andy take a seat to Costas? Because that appears to be to do the trick when subs are coming on. Costas seems to add a little bit more dimension to us. I'd like to know what you think on that, James.
Costas came on and made a real impact for me. I think he was getting involved in the fight with Diaz and was actually helping Diaz get the ball. I think the three of them interlinked very well, doesn't it? You know, Carvalho, Diaz, and Costas. There's something there. We saw it in pre-season, especially Carvalho and Diaz. There's something between them. There's some interlink, there's some telepathy. And Costas seems to be getting in that sort of winged position to get the ball. I think Robbo's getting a lot of stick despite doing quite a lot of good things. I think he finds himself in good positions on a regular basis, just doesn't finish it off. But I do think that Robbo may benefit from a couple of games out the firing line. And we've got the luxury to do that because we have got a decent backup. And therefore, maybe Costas will take the position. Owen, you've got your thinking chin on. If you had a beard, you'd be stroking it.
Yeah, to be fair, I said it. How long ago did I say?
Unpopular opinion. Your unpopular opinion when we did the stream was drop Robbo, start Costas.
I wrote an article on it in November last year. That's how long I've been saying it for now and having that opinion. And yeah, I got loads of stick for it saying it, but I think, yeah, Robertson now, it's just like, why is he still playing every single game? I don't understand. Even last season, we're playing 3 games a week and Robertson starting all 3. It's like, it wouldn't hurt to start Shimicast for one game, see how he does. And it annoys me how people judge him when he comes on for 10, 20 minutes as well, because you can't judge a full player off that. Like, start him for a game. If you just have a good game, hold your hands up and say, yeah, he wasn't at it today, or yeah, maybe he's not as good as Robertson, but just give him a chance. And yeah, Saturday would be perfect for Shimicast. But I want to ask you, I'll pass on to Anthony. Do you think taking off Trent today, that was kind of maybe a little, how do I put it? A little message to him? Because yeah, James Milner came on for him. Was that kind of saying you weren't good enough, or do you think it was just kind of a rotation thing?
You know what? As soon as that substitution happened, I thought Klopp lost the plot. I thought even when Trent's having a bad game, yeah, he could still come up with some magic, and we saw that against Fulham. I thought he weren't great against them, but he hit one long ball into Nunes, I want to say, and Salah finished it off. And those moments get you goals. And Milner playing right back, it just didn't make sense. But like you just said, it could have sent a message to Trent saying, you know, you're at risk. Obviously, Ramsey's back in training. It's nice to know he exists. And with Tsimikas, your point about Tsimikas as well. Why on earth is Robertson starting this match? You've got 3 matches this week, and Robertson's basically going to, I think he's nailed on to start against Everton as well, because we're pointing this out as well. Klopp just has his favourites, and he doesn't like dropping them. And I know you like Henderson, Owen, but Henderson's at one, Milner's one where he just has his favourites and he doesn't drop them. But I think your point about Trent might be right, to be fair. I think we've not really seen much from Ramsey, but who knows? I reckon he could get some minutes and maybe even challenge Trent for his right back spot this season.
We're going to finish on final thoughts because we're going for half an hour, and you know we don't want to be up all night or all day, depending on what time zone you're in, Rigo. It's a big country. What are your 2 main positives from the game? You know, what are you most happy about? And Rigo, I'll start with you. You know, what are the positives from the game?
Positives: Elliott and Carvalho. Holy cow! We are set at that skill position, whether they play in the midfield or out wide, I believe, and what a talented duo that we have. And thank you, Fulham. I know you tied us earlier this season, and shame on you for that, but thank you for these 2 boys. So that would be my positive right there, as well as actually not giving up and going forward and squeezing out this win. So those would be my 2 positives walking away from today.
Owen, 2 positives from the game.
It's hard to find 2 away from them 2, if I'm being completely honest.
3 points. Is that not positive?
Exactly, yeah. I guess that is a positive, having that 3 points. Now is it 8 points in total? So yeah, we're climbing up the table. That's a very important at this stage. And Man City, everyone knows how good they're doing. Was it 6 in the end against Nottingham Forest? Something absolutely crazy. But yeah, hopefully this can be a sign now that we are back on it, and we're going to go and challenge them. And yeah, second win at Anfield as well, which is important.
And Anthony, a couple of positives from you for the game.
I'll take yours and say 3 points. And like Rigo said at the beginning, if you got Salah in your fantasy, you got your 2 assists. So I'll take that as another positive.
Yeah, and I think for me, the 2 positives for me is coming from a behind victory. I think that always just it's a mentality piece for me. It built, I think 2 wins on the bounce as well for me just builds momentum, and it just helps us move forward in the Premier League and sort of start to be, as Klopp said it, the team nobody wants to play against, because they know that it's going to go until the 98th minute if it has to. Thank you for everyone that's joined. Please make sure you leave a like and a subscribe on the video. We make these videos for you. This is a fan channel run by fans. So for us, it's just our way of engaging with the community. So please join it. We're not too bad. Owen does these strange thinking poses quite regularly. You'll probably enjoy them. This has been LFC Transfer Room. We'll catch you on the next video. 3 points for Liverpool. We are charging up the league, and before you know it, we'll be fighting for the title. Take care. I'll catch you on the next one.